Alright, so what's going on, guys? Alright, so today what we're going to cover is just a way to protect your images, on how to put your logo onto your images if you want to post them onto, social media and things like that, just to kind of give yourselves an extra layer of protection. So we're going to look at two things. We're going to look at adding a watermark, which could either be text or it could be your logo, and we're also going to look at resolution, so when you're saving for web. Right, really simple things that we've covered previously, but it's just the way that we're going to use them. So we're starting off with this image of a character that I done a few years back, and I want to put my logo over the top of this as a watermark. So what I'm going to do is, you guys will be familiar with my logo from the beginning of the video, but the way the logo is set out here, it's not ideal because it's got two colors. So what I'd want to do is create a single color version of this logo. So I could just do like one solid version of it, which is just like a kind of cube, but I've actually gone ahead and created this variation of the logo. So I've just got the positive and negative happening there. So if I hide the background, you guys can see what's happening there. So we need a single color version of your logo, or if it's typography, then that's all good. Really simply, I'm just going to select the layer that my logo's on. I'm going to bring that across into over the image that I want to place my watermark, and it is simply a matter of you resize it to the way that you want it, and it's just a matter of coming down here into our layer palette and adjusting the opacity. So we could either go down to like 50%, or we could take it a bit lower. So you might want to go for something like 10%, check 25, or even like 20%. Yeah, so something where you could see the logo, but not so much that it's distracting you can't actually make out what's happening. So you can adjust the size of that quite simply, just by going to your rectangular marquee, right click, free transform, select the corner point, and then readjusting it, and then hit OK when you're happy with it. But as I said, I'll probably take it down to like 15, maybe even 10. Yeah, so that's one layer of protection that you can do to implement. You could just put your watermark over the top of your image. Another way is to ensure that your document itself, your image, is of a lower resolution. So if we were to create a new, and here we can see we've got a clipboard set up, and it is 72 for resolution. So that is the type of resolution that you want, and that is 72 ppi, and ppi stands for pixels per inch. So the higher the resolution, then the better quality image that you get. So we want to go for something that is pretty low. So if you go click on select web here, you'll see automatically it's set to 72. If we go to print, then it will boost right the way up to 300, because you want a better resolution of image if you're intending on printing. So either way, it doesn't really matter just in terms of the size, but if we're going to go for something like just a square, so I'm just going to say 5 by 5, and then I'm going to bring that resolution. So 72 for your resolution is perfectly fine. We're going to create that. So now if we bring our image, so let's just flatten these two together. So say for example, if this is what we want to work with, let's crop that so that it is a bit closer to being square. Arrow crop. Alright, let's go. So we're going to crop that so it's a little closer to being a square, just so it fits better with what we have created. Yeah, okay, cool. And then we're just going to flatten the image. We're just going to flatten that so it's just on a single layer. Then we're going to drag that across, and we're going to throw it into our document with our 72, and you can see how massive that is, right? Because we were working at 300, right? So let's free transform that. If we just go to our navigator, so we'll be able to see how crazy that is, right? We're going to bring that right the way down now so that it fits onto our screen. Let's zoom back in. Little nudge to the side. There we go. Right, cool. So now we can go ahead and save that. So we just save as, and when you save it again, you can just make sure that that resolution is knocked down if you save it as a JPEG or whatever the case may be. But those are two ways of protecting your image. So one, adding your logo over the top. Remember, you want it to be a single color, and you're going to keep that opacity at say 10%, 15%, and also making sure that our undo that, flatten. And we're also making sure that the image that we're working in is set at 72 pixels per inch, again to reduce that level of quality. So if someone were to steal your image, right click save, they couldn't print it out. They may be able to put it onto their Instagram or their website, whatever the case may be, but it will have your watermark. But if you did forget to put the watermark, then there's no way that they'd be able to print it out without it losing tons of quality and looking really horrible. Right, so those are two ways of protecting your image online.